I would love to know that. So, as promised, today I want to share a message about money. Money is one of those things that for whatever reason is so uneasy for us. I think especially for us women, it's like we have this relationship with it that says, come here, go away, come here, go away, right? Think about it and how much guilt we carry around it, how much shame, how taboo this topic is. Like, it's not okay to say, I like money, I love money, I want more money. Somehow that makes us seem shallow or greedy or whatever. And that doesn't have to be the case. And I think, again, that, this is more of a pervasive issue among women. And so I think it is incumbent upon us to kind of dispel those myths, because, if you think about it, every single thing that we do or have is tied to money. There is not a single day where we don't have to interact with money or something that was bought with money, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just impossible to get away from it. And, money isn't evil. It opens a lot of doors. And actually today I want to share with you some really awesome reasons that I want you to consider for why we women need to empower ourselves around money and generate more of it, and do good things with it. So, but before I get to that, again, I think that when we refuse to have conversations about money and to really talk about it, to embrace it, that we keep ourselves playing small. I think that's part of the result that comes with that. And I think it also results in us giving away our power when we are in a position of being dependent on other people, especially our partners, because they carry the primary financial load in the home. So I think that, we could easily give away our power, and I don't think that it should be the case. I think that it also limits the impact that we're able to have on the world, on our families, the impact that we can make with our work. Because if we are in business for ourselves, I'm sure that part of that is to make an impact in the world, to help people, to do big things, to contribute to causes that are meaningful for us, to contribute to the well-being of our families, etc. And so I want to get into that. So, and, because we are in business, it is especially important for us ladies to get really comfortable tracking our money, having discussions around money, getting smarter about how to use money. I think a lot of us women traditionally haven't felt very confident in understanding finances and managing finances. So I think this is an area where we, including myself, need to really empower ourselves and educate ourselves. And before I end, I'm going to tell you about a juicy surprise that's coming next week. So, all right, so let's get into some of the 10 reasons. And this is by no means an exhaustive list, okay? This is just kind of, some ideas that I generated, and you can feel free to post in the comments if you come up with some other reasons that money is important to you. If you dare. I dare ya. All right, so number one, and these are in no particular order, but so the first reason why we need to make more money and empower ourselves around money is money in itself gives us freedom and options, right? Think of, the ability to decide how many days a week you work or don't work, or where you work from, or if you need to take time off, whether it be for vacation or to take care of a relative or anything like that. When you have enough money, you can have that freedom to take that time off, right? Or you can, decide, no, I'm not going to work. Or, I want to live in this place, or I want to buy this thing, right? So freedom and options that otherwise may not be available. So that's one reason. Number two is that when we earn more money, it also allows us to contribute in a bigger way to our families. So for example, in my case, one of my big things is contributing to paying my son's tuition. He goes to a private school. That's not free. So, I want to contribute more to that, contribute to taking family vacations, contribute to making renovations to our home. So, what is it for you? And you can put it in the chat. What are some things that you want to help contribute to your family by means of the income that you're generating in your business? Right? I know a lot of women have that as a goal. Contribute to retirement, having a healthy retirement fund for you and your significant other or just yourself. Right? So when we have that ability, we have more that we can contribute to our families. And along with that comes the next reason. Reason number 3 is that we can have more independence as well. I referenced earlier how many of us are in a position, and that this includes myself, where for me, for many women I know, our significant others have been the primary wage earners in the family. One of my goals, though, is to, reach a point where I can tell my husband, honey, you go do whatever it is that you want, and I'm going to take care of our family financially. Like, to me, that would be freaking amazing. And that is one of my goals. It's part of my dream, part of my vision, and that's where I'm headed. And so, but here's the other thing about being independent, right? Is that if something shall happen to our significant other, right, that we can be independent, we can have our own money set aside, we can be in a good position. And that is peace of mind all around, not only for us, but also for our significant others, right? And here's the other thing I'm going to say about being independent, right? How many women do you know who, stay in a relationship that they don't want to be in because they feel like they don't have the ability to financially support themselves, right? And that is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So these are things that we can do something about right now, ladies. We don't have to ever be trapped in a relationship that we don't want to be in, that's not healthy for us, because we feel like we don't have any options, because we don't have enough money, right? And so, which brings me along to the next one, number 4, that, if we want to ultimately equal the playing field, we already know that we're not making the same money that men earn, right? It's something like 82 cents out of a dollar for women. And for women of color, it's even bigger of a gap. I know this. And so, when we think about us being in a position as entrepreneurs to generate money, to become independent, to become solid in ourselves, to support other women in that same journey, to support the future generations, our daughters, our granddaughters who are coming behind us, right? So this is how we equal the playing field, ladies, is we start making choices today that will impact our lives today, in the future, and also impact the future generations. Who feels me? I want to see some thumbs up if you are feeling what I'm talking about, ladies. This is real, right? And so, at some point we have to start taking action. We can't just complain, how unfair it is that men make more money than we do. It's like, well, what can we do in our sphere of influence right now to help change that situation? And I think the path of entrepreneurship is a beautiful path that would allow us to do that. And of course, there's legislative changes that can be made and so forth. But again, all of that stuff, it goes back to the impact that money can have, right? So, number 5 reason why I want you to make more money is we want to do more fun stuff, right? Who wants to do more fun stuff? Put it in the chat if you want to travel, if you dream about buying a second home. What are the things that you dream about, right? What are the fun things that you want to do that you wish that you had more money to do, right? For me, I definitely want to travel more. One of the things that we would love to do is to purchase an RV so we could go, doing more camping across the country, maybe have a boat, have a vacation home too. all of the things, all of the cool things. And think about, again, traveling the world and what kind of experiences we can offer to our children as a result of having those opportunities to do that, right? And all of that, my ladies, is made possible by having more money, right? So, hey, Virginia, qué bueno que estás acá. I'm glad to see you. So we're able to then give those opportunities to our kids as well. So that was number 5. And then number 6, here's another one. I was talking about future generations, but for me, and I'm sure that for many of you too, you have parents, right? And guess what? For me, I know my parents are definitely in that age where they're, in retirement age. And if you don't, well, they will hit that point as well, right? And I know that one of my desires is to help support my parents in their retirement, because we know Social Security is not a great plan to depend on, especially as cost of living increase, right? Who feels me? Give me some thumbs up, right? Isn't that the truth, right? And for us, right? I'm a Gen Xer, and I know I do not expect that by the time I get ready to retire that Social Security is going to be there. I'm not trying to depend on that. But anyway, so all of that to say that we can support, our parents who might be needing our help when we have more money to do that, to make that possible, right? Thank you, Virginia. I love it. Time freedom, yes, not being forced, subject to health insurance only. Thank you. That's another one. Thank you, Virginia. About the health costs that we know are skyrocketing, and private insurance, even the best of plans sometimes don't cover certain things. And we know that more and more we have things like cancer and dementia. That's something that I have in my family. And so these are things to think about and to start preparing for. I know it's not like the most pleasant stuff to think about, but we also can't be ostriches and bury our heads in the sand. Right? We have to get real, and the moment to prepare for those things is right now, my ladies. And again, so that's another reason that we can make a bigger impact when we have more money. So we have to get serious about this. Now, here's another thing. Number 7 is that when we earn more money, we have the possibility of impacting those causes, those organizations that are really dear to us. Those things that we are like, oh my God, I wish I had more money to make a bigger impact. Guess what? When you do have more money, you can make a bigger impact. And, to the point of, sometimes we think about money as being, evil and whatnot. You know what? Money doesn't make a person any more or less than what they already, how can I put it? It doesn't necessarily change that. Right? If you're a good person and you are a generous person and you have good things that you want to do, when you have more money, you can do more good things, right? And so again, us women have, as a general rule, we care about people. And again, if you're an entrepreneur, I'm guessing that part of that reason that you did that is to help others. And so again, when we have more money, we have a bigger impact that we can make. So that was number 7. What's number 8? Sorry, I'm like looking at my notes over here. Oh my gosh, here's a big one for me personally. I don't know about y'all, but here it goes. Number 8, freedom to buy whatever, whenever, without having to consult your checkbook. Who feels me on that one, ladies? Like seriously. Like how often do we, the first thing that we want, oh, I wish I could buy that. Let me see if I have enough money to buy that thing, right? And again, these are things that when we have more money, we have the opportunity to, buy the things that we want and to invest also in ourselves, invest in our personal growth, invest in our businesses to grow them, to hire team members that can support us in doing certain functions that we don't necessarily want to do or are not in our zone of genius, right? And guess what? When we are hiring team members, we also are opening up job opportunities for other people, which further benefits other families, right? So this is all like trickle, effect, right? It's ripples that we're making. And all of this happens when we earn more money. So again, that's another fantastic reason to make more money. And I want you to have more of it, to invest more of it, to save it, to grow it. And that's where we're headed. Okay, so number 9, retiring in comfort. I'll tell you a little secret, okay? And it's not even a secret. You know that women, on average, live longer than men, right? We all know this, right? So that means that we need to have money set aside for retirement. And once our spouses go and that income is no longer there, right? What kind of a position are we going to be in? So it's a wise idea to right now start putting money aside for our own retirement, right? Especially because we're living longer. Because if our spouses end up in like long-term care, for example, or they pass away, those part of those monies that may have been set aside are going to go towards the partner, right? And if we live longer, then we need to have additional funds that we can access. And so if we start investing now, that's the kind of thing that we can do, is to have a retirement fund set up for ourselves, right? So retiring in comfort. Again, Social Security, I would not count on it. Okay, number 10 is that we can give our kids a head start in life. And I imagine that for many of you, that's part of your desire, is to give your kids a legacy where they have an easier start in their life by having a little bit of money set aside. Maybe teaching them how to save, how to invest, how to not get into so much debt and so forth, right? Is that we're able to then model a certain path for them about being smart with money. And I think, again, especially for us as women, as we think about our girls and empowering them to make wise decisions around their money and to be financially independent. So once again, they can choose to be in relationships with partners and can contribute on an equal level and don't have to be dependent on a partner, right? That if they stay in a relationship, it's because they want to be there, right? And so, again, these are all just 10 of the reasons that I could come up with. And if you can come up with some other ones, please do put them in the comment. What drives you? What reasons can you come up with to generate more money and to be more empowered around money? Now, speak